Hey Storm fans, it's Aden here for your first signing interview of the off-season, and I'm delighted to be bringing you your all-star netminder, Mr. Evan Weninger. Evan, welcome back to Manchester.
Thank you very much. Happy to be back.
Good stuff. So Evan, tell us, how's your summer going?
It's been good. I just got back home, kind of settling in there, getting all my stuff unpacked for the summer, and just kind of enjoying myself, trying to wait for the sunny weather to come back, but just living the Manchester life of rain and clouds for the last few days here.
So tell the fans, what do you get up to during the summer? Because you're doing a lot of your coaching with the kids.
Yeah, I do. So I work for the goalie coach that coaches me. I work for his company and coach younger goalies kind of just throughout Saskatchewan here. And then during the days, I like to make sure I can get out to golf when it's sunny out or nice out. We play a lot of pickleball with my friends, which is like tennis but with wiffle balls. It's a good time. And then yeah, other than that, it's just kind of hanging around, enjoying the company that I don't get to spend the time with while I'm overseas, and just making the time worth it at home so that when I go back, I'm not sad to be leaving.
So it's great that you're coming back to join us once again in Manchester. So looking at your career today, obviously you've moved around a fair amount. Like you've done a lot in North America, you're in France for a while. You haven't stayed with one team for too long. So what is it about Manchester that convinced you to come back?
Honestly, it's the people. I mean, we obviously had a really good year last year, and a lot of that has to do with how tight knit we were as a group. And with a lot of those guys coming back or looking into it, it was hard not to at least consider it very strongly. And looking around, I didn't really have any thoughts of wanting to find somewhere else. And at the end of the day, I talked to Finner a little bit, and we came to a pretty good agreement where I'm really happy to be coming back, and I hope the team and then the fans are too.
And obviously we're having a coaching change when you get back to Manchester. Have you spoke to the new coach yet?
Yeah, we had a conversation. Actually, would have been the day after I signed. I knew he was going to be there, but I hadn't actually had a conversation with him. But I'd done a little research, asked some people who might have known him in the past through coaching and stuff, and I've really heard good things. And our conversation on the Saturday there was really good. I'm excited to get things going. He seems like he's hungry. He's not satisfied with last year, just like most of us are. It's the goal wasn't just to make playoffs; it was kind of to make a bit bigger of a splash than that. So we're going to come into this year a little hungry, and having a coach like Mike coming in. I mean, it's going to be tough to replace Ginner. He was obviously a big part of who we were as a team, but we do have the kind of guys that I don't think it'll matter too much, and I think maybe a fresh face can help out some guys too. So we'll see, but I'm really excited to kind of be a part of it and see how things go this year.
I know you've had some time to reflect on how that previous season went. Obviously, you look at the big picture, we did really well finishing fourth, but then we had the disappointment that was the playoffs. Looking back at the season as a whole, are you entirely happy with how it went, apart from how it ended?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously for me personally a really good year, and I had some success. But what the big thing was it was really nice to kind of have that team success throughout the year too, going through those up and downs where we were the best team in the league to start the season, and then we go through that little bit of a slump where we're playing a lot of games against Cardiff, Sheffield, Belfast, and we're kind of having to grind those ones out, trying to win games against top teams. And I think that really helped us out in that stretch in in the spring there, where we kind of put ourselves in that position to be in fourth place. Obviously, the playoffs was a little bit disappointing. It's tough because it's a two-game aggregate, so it really that first game can really hurt you, and we didn't show up, and that the onus is on all of us. Like nobody's coming out of that weekend thinking, oh well, I did everything as best as I can. We all know we had more to give, but at the end of the day, I'm still really proud of what we did as a team last year. We were picked to finish 10th, and we finished fourth in a very competitive league last year. So we're gonna try and use that experience and build off it and see if we can maybe do better, or at least kind of show that that wasn't just a fluke. We're not just oh, we had a one good year. We're kind of here.
And if you had to pick one thing that made us successful last season, what would you say it was?
Oof, that's tough. There's probably a couple. The win in Sheffield was pretty special. Um, Not knowing a ton about the rivalry and the history of those two teams, or our team and Sheffield, it it was apparent pretty early in the season just how much it meant to the fans and to the team and everybody involved, that beating Sheffield is kind of the one big thing you almost have to do every year. And to do it in their rink in the way that we did it, where it was such a complete team game. It was one of those ones that personally I didn't feel I had my best game, but the fact that we beat them the way we did was one of the coolest games I've been a part of in a long time. Um, Other than that, it's hard to kind of pinpoint one game. It was a fun year.
And if you, and again, pinpointing one thing, if there's one thing that you think we need to do better next season to then take that next step and hopefully get into the final four of the playoffs, what would you say it is?
Uh, that's a tough one. I think this year the big thing was that we just got tired. We put it all, like, we were in such a tough spot kind of just after Christmas, really playing playoff hockey for January, February, and March. And so by the time you do get to that playoff weekend and or the playoffs, and you almost let out that sigh of relief, like, okay, we did it, we figured it out, and we got here. And I think that was just a little bit of a problem where we didn't quite have that drive to keep going. But again, it was one of those things where we put ourselves in a really good position, and obviously we didn't capitalize on it, but that's what professional hockey is about, right? There's NHL teams, some of the best NHL teams of all time don't end up winning the Stanley Cup or even lose first round. So you live and you learn, and I think that's a really big thing our team has, is we learned throughout the whole year last year. And if I think you would have given us another kind of chance at a playoff series, I think you would have seen a very different result out of us. But that's not how it works. So we're going to go back next year and try and show that we're a good team and we've learned from our mistakes last year and can kind of go from there.
And a big personal highlight for yourself, you were named in the All-Star team. What was that like?
It felt good. It felt good. It's nice. It's nice to have the hard work kind of pay off and pay dividends in a way that people see. But at the end of the day, a lot of that is because of my teammates. It's hard to find teams that the goalie and the team mesh so well together as far as styles of play and how it works, especially for myself not being a big positional normal goaltender that just kind of gets in position and makes the save. I have to play a little bit more scrambly, and we had a team that really thrived on that. They'd respond to a big save really well. They would defend really well towards the end of the year. We struggled a little bit early on, but we really figured it out. So yeah, it was really cool to kind of be announced and be on that all-star team. But a lot of that credit has to go to my teammates just for how hard they worked and selling out for me night in, night out.
Did you have a favorite save of the season? You're obviously a regular on the Elite League saves of the week, often coming into number one. But was the one save that you thought was the best one?
The one that I found that I like watching the video of the most is the one in Belfast where I swooped it from behind my back. But probably my favorite save is also against Belfast at home in the win at home towards the end of the year there. It was a glove save. Wasn't really that. I don't even know if it actually ended up on the top saves, but it was kind of just a couple bounces of the puck, one timer from the high slot, and I made a pretty big windmill glove save, maybe a little bigger than it should have been. It
Was
was
that
it
where you
was a
had to go
tight.
post to post?
This one, it was, yeah, post to post, and then it bounced out high, and
Yeah,
the
I
guy,
remember which one you mean because you were on one side and you had to get across, and yeah,
yeah, and so one of those ones that it might not. Still looks good. I'll admit, but it wasn't one that was like an oh wow. It's just the gravity of the situation. We're up by a goal with 3 minutes left and playing Belfast, and we're in that kind of weird. That was actually the start of our little winning streak there. So it was kind of just one that I look back and was a save that might have kind of altered the course of my year for like personally, but maybe even the team as well. And one of those ones that I'll think about a lot.
that's great. Well, before we wrap up, any messages for the fans?
Yeah, just really excited to get back out there. probably the best fan support I've had in my career out in Europe and overseas there. So yeah, I'm just really excited to be back. I hope everybody's excited to kind of see what we can bring to the table and how we can kind of build off last year, and we'll have yeah, we'll have a good season, lots of fun, and we'll make sure we keep throwing down on the ice for you guys.
Well, Evan, thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your summer, and we will see you in August.
Yeah, thank you very much.